Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me today on the Justin Comer Show. I'm your host, Justin Comer, on this Monday, April 24th, 2017 edition. And I've got a wild stack of news here, as I always do, but this time it's a little more crucial because we're edging more towards destabilization across the world, basically, and pushing ourselves towards the brink of World War III. And that's not what we want to see. That's not what we voted for. But unfortunately, that's outside sometimes of our own administration's problems. If we have countries instigating ours and allies, like North Korea, with our own enemies telling their allies that if they don't stop, then they're going to attack them and they're going to stop their coal exports, what they've already done from North Korea. And the big thing going around right now is the French election. I believe yesterday on Sunday, we saw Marine Le Pen, the far-right National Front Party leader. I think she actually just stepped down today, but that's side news. Win on the primary election with Macron. Which is basically the former Rothschild banker. They now are going into the actual final election that's going to be just like all eyes on France on May 7th, which is going to determine basically the future of France forever almost. As you know, Marine Le Pen had very similar policies towards Trump, what he had. And Macron is kind of like another Hillary. They call him a centrist, but at the end of the day, he works for the most elitist banking system probably ever devised, next to Goldman Sachs and others like that, and was basically created in a bunker. But we got an article out of the Daily Mail. Far-right leader Marine Le Pen and independent centrist Emmanuel Macron have made it to the second round. 36.7 million voted. Turnout is 78.2%. Macron won 23.9% of the vote. Le Pen 21.4%. So he got a little bit ahead of her. But that's not to say anything. That's not to say anything that she can't win. That he's going to make it, because it really is, at the end of the day, it is a tight race. The last thing, Macron wants to keep the borders wide open, saying that we got to apologize for Islam and the terrorists. And not really for the victims, or not really for the reasons why. There's no real solutions as to how to stop this. He really doesn't have any. He almost just wants to keep it going, which I'm not surprised, because, again, he worked for the ultimate elitist globalist bank out there, basically. Bankers out there, the richest family in the world. So we've got that happening. That's big time right there. That's going to determine a massive future of one of Europe's biggest countries. In terms of the economy and just as a whole, that's trying to get out of the EU. If Marine Le Pen wins, they will, I can almost guarantee you, get out of the EU and separate themselves from the euro currency and go back to the francs probably. So, which I'm all for. That's what Brexit did. It would be another Frexit if she won. And a lot of young people seem to be voting that way. There's a big percentage of that, 39% or so, 18 and 24, I believe. I think that's the demographic. It's pushing more towards Le Pen, and a lot of women are behind her. But, you know, this could ultimately really change the dynamics of the future of Europe and France as a whole, because Germany sure as hell isn't going to change. It doesn't seem like. At least Brexit's happening, and that's going through. Theresa May, she was kind of more for staying, but she's kind of like, you know, okay, we're going with the Brexit way. She's going to lead that front, which is good. We need that. That's what we need. But this Daily Mail article continues to go down, and they had other candidates that lost this round that want to basically promote and endorse Macron. A lot of them are endorsing Macron, including the fake neocon conservative idiot that ran and failed. Fallon, I believe was his name, or he's a socialist. One's a socialist and one's a fake conservative. So you really can't win on either side, because the neocon's going to go to war just like, you know, John McCain and Lindsey Graham. They're all war hungry. And you get that in every country, and this time it happens in France. So when we come back, stay right with us. I'm going to break down these articles, and break down what's going on across the world. I'm Justin Comer. Hang in there.